All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can jump in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So today is September 17th, 2019. So I just want to remind everybody that everything we talk about today is for educational purposes only and not for investment advice. So we're going to go over some really cool stuff today. But first, let's kind of take a look at the market. Right now, the SPX closed at right at 3,005, right, up about 7 points today. And so what that does, it keeps the month nice and green here. It's sort of above the this hammer, right? And we're kind of approaching again the upper Bollinger Band here, where we really bounced off of it last time. We had a Fed day, right? And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Fed day. So let's see what happens again. Big push down last time. It's hard to find things to really be bullish about these days, right? I mean, we've got war with Iran. We've got Fed tomorrow. We've got what else? Trade deals kind of not happening. That whole type of thing. So I mean, it's tough to kind of reach and be like, okay, well, this thing's going to really rip tomorrow if with what happens. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It might just it might chop around. Who knows? I don't know. But I imagine there'll be some sparks flying. So we'll see how that goes. These days with the volatility the way it is, it's just that anything can happen. So far with the weekly, we got a Harami week inside week. About 15 points so far, so kind of a narrow range at this point. But I imagine this contraction will lead to some expansion possibly tomorrow, right? We have quadruple witching this week too, which means 4 different expirations. We've done a video on that before, 4 different expirations, right? On the futures, the options, the monthlies, weeklies, right? So all that sort of stuff. Index futures, right? So individual stock futures, all that good stuff. So anyway, so on the daily, so we had a nice green day today. We had a narrow range the other day, right? Kind of inside day, kind of gap down, and then guess what? We filled that gap today. Really, really clever. So it kind of got in there. Still a closing gap above. Didn't quite get there today. So we'll see if they grab that tomorrow. Futures are down a little bit. Down 2 points. So we'll see where we're at in the morning. So maybe there'll be some friendly tweets in the morning to help the market up. And whoa, look at today's price action. So with today's price action. Pretty amazing stuff, right? We were choppy today, for a very long time, and then we had this big push into the close, right? And so, most stocks were really, really choppy today. I think we had a few that were interesting. Like yesterday, we talked about Boeing on a breakout. We'll take a look at ROKU on a reversal today, and we'll compare it to a couple other stocks and just kind of see how they're looking. But yeah, big breakout at the end of the day today, so that was pretty big after it got out of these levels here. So you can see, these levels here corresponded basically with yesterday's highs, and then once it got above that with some power, right, it started to fill this gap right here, and looks like it filled this one right here on the open gap, and just a little bit of closing gap above. So pretty amazing price action today. Really, really, really amazing. So anyway, so we got that there. So let's kind of take a look and see where we're at. Kind of big picture wise. So big picture wise, right? This is our kind of macro channel, geometric levels, right? We have our pitchfork up here. We've got this gold channel, right? We have a couple action reaction lines kind of here, and basically what we're seeing is kind of back to the same levels we were last Fed day. And so last Fed day, right, we cut rates and we ended up going down. I guess some of the dialogue at the press conference was talking about, we'll evaluate in the future. All right, well, here we are, back again, same level. So let's see what the dialogue is like tomorrow and see if it pushes us up maybe to the top of the channel, maybe up to 30.50. And who knows, maybe it'll bounce it up there really quickly and then it'll bounce right back off of it. So quickly. So we'll see. It could be a wild day tomorrow. Very, very interesting stuff. And then basically that's it. That's where we're at here with the market. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great trading day today. So today we're just going to take a quick look at ROKU and one of the setups that it had today, which was really, really neat. And then we're going to compare it with a couple other stocks just to see what they did. And we're going to throw an indicator out there. That in combination with another one that maybe you haven't seen before, this kind of combination, and it's actually really, really effective on these time frames. So we'll take a look here. So we're back here on the 5 minutes. So what I want to do is let's go to ROKU. Let's take a look at its daily chart. So ROKU, has been great for a very long time, right? Really, really, big epic up move from this earnings period right here, and then big push, right? And so it's been fun to trade for quite a while. To the upside, and then it had a couple days down last week, right? And now it's just kind of been chopping in here. And so what we have is, we have this big move down, and then what looks like to be forming a bear flag right here, right? So what I really would like to see is a push down to these lows so we could draw a fresh trend line and then really kind of capitalize on a change in trend with that, right? Because if we got fresh lows, right, then we could get a new pivot and then start to work our way up, right? So right now we're just kind of waiting, kind of see what happens. We have a little bit of bear flag forming, so we'll have to be careful here to see if it pushes back down. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look what happened today. So no matter what, it's still Roku, so it can give some pretty crazy price action today. And of all the stocks, there was so much chop, but Roku gave an entry, right? Gave a move today, which is pretty interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what it did. So let's go to the 15-minute chart, right? And you guys know we like to trade orbs, right? So the opening range bars. And so we'd like the 15 orb. So let's just go to the 15-minute chart and see what happened today. So we'll give a little clarity here. And a couple of these levels are some of the levels that we tweet out to our subscribers, just so we can see, right? Roku's an inside day, so we want to know these inside day levels. Just kind of really emphasize that because they can give good breakout points, right? So what we'll do is I'm going to put a study up here, right, that uses the 15 orbs. Give me a second. So I'll put that up here. Should put it in nicely. Yep, there it is. So there's your first 15 minutes of the day was this bar here. There's your high, there's your low. So that gives you your orb levels, right? So those are really key levels, okay? And then I'm going to add another study on here real quick, and I'm going to turn all the inside bars yellow. Okay, so give me 1 second there. Okay, so inside bar yellow. And as you guys know, we like inside bars, right? They're fun to trade. So what did Roku do today that was really cool? Well, let's zoom in and look. So push down, it flushed at the open. It's really nasty open, right, for Roku. Really came down. But we know that these orbs come in place for a reason, right? They give you areas of support and resistance, right? And so, so when we have those in play, right, we know where the bears are defending or where the bulls are defending, right? So right here, the bulls they really want to get back in, right? Because they were defending here and they lost, they came out, so they want to get back in. So how do we capitalize on that? How do we capture that? Well, what we can do is we can look for some exhaustion in the selling, right? And a lot of times we can see that with an inside bar. Now, it's possible it could have continued if this inside bar broke down. And remember, we've done lots of discussions on inside bars that what they represent, right, is indecision in price, right? That's why it went inside the prior price range, right? Normally, price, what it likes to do is it likes to test levels, it likes to move to the next level, moves to the next level, moves to the next, and it does that by breaking out the prior levels, right? This is price action, right? This is one of the best ways to trade if you're day trading, right? But you have to have the tools to be able to capitalize on it, right? So because you can't just jump on every candle, otherwise you go crazy, right? And it's a good way to lose a lot of money really quickly. So we have tools like this that are able to help us, right? So we have this inside bar down here. So what we could do is look to say like, okay, is this going to retest, right? Or is it going to move back down? Okay. So, we talk about it a lot. Well, how do we know which way it's going to go, right? Well, oftentimes the break of the level will tell you one way, but how do we know how far it's going to go, right? So, well, we definitely don't know that, right? And we don't know which ones are going to work, so you have to be careful. Like here, this one, inside bar broke to the upside, yeah, but it didn't really do that much. So with options, that really doesn't help us very much, right? We don't have those type of, we don't have that luxury, right, to work with the shares, right? We've got options to work with, and we have to be right in direction. We have to be right with momentum, right? We have to be right with timing. So to help with this, there's two tools that I think would be really helpful. And I just want to kind of throw those out there today, which are really cool. And a few, we've looked at these all before, and some of our members actually had mentioned this one, so I wanted to kind of combine them. So the first is the fast stochastic, right? So we like to use that. That's great. And so with the fast stochastic, one of the things it's just an oscillating, this is not an oscillator. We've talked about it, several times before, right? And one of the key things that we like, right? So we like the fast, right? When the fast crosses over, the fast K crosses over the red, right? Crosses over the purple, right? The fast K crosses over the fast D, right? And so here you can see we had a nice cross right here. Now again, when you're doing this live, when you're doing this intraday, right? It doesn't give you this beautiful setup, right? It looks like it's crossing over, it doesn't look like it's crossing over. But the idea is you're at the lows, right? You're kind of in this oversold level here, and right, so this kind of gives a good buying opportunity to see this cross, okay? But that's not all I want to say, because you could look at it here and say, hey, this crossed over here, and this wasn't good to go, right? So what we do is we combine it with another study, so the CCI. So the CCI, all you do is type in CCI if you use Thinkorswim, right? And it'll plug it in at the bottom here. And so what we want to look at, so the CCI is called the Commodity Channel Index, okay? It was developed by Don Lambert. Okay, and it's a momentum-based oscillator used to determine, if the stock is reaching a condition of being overbought or oversold. So it's just another oscillator that we use. But what it does is it measures the difference between the current price and the historical average price. Okay, so a couple things that we like to think about here is, and some subscribers have talked about like some great ideas here, and a lot of times things we like to see divergences, right? Bullish divergence pair, it's great for that, it really is. But in combination with the fast stochastic, right, it's sort of like, I don't know if anybody knows Def Day Trader on Twitter, but he likes the stochastic with the RSI with the MACD, and we've done a video of that in honor of him before, to look for these kind of dip type things to buy, right? And so when we combine these together, this is really quite powerful stuff, right? So what we can see here is we have the if the overbought and oversold conditions are 80-20 on the stochastic, we keep them just at the defaults here at 100 and minus 100 on the CCI. So when both of these are oversold, right, and are forming a crossover, right? So we had this gold cross right here on the stochastic, and we also had a crossover forming right here on the CCI, right? Well, this is a little bit of an indicator to show us that, hey, maybe this reversal is happening, right? And we can actually try to trade that price action, right? So just jumping in anything up, right? I mean, this is a nice move inside up right here, but how far is that, right? It's 151.79 to 152.33, which is great, right? It's a nice 50-cent move if you have shares, right? But if you've got options, right, these things just don't move like that. This is what moves, right? So we moved here from 147.27, and that is about a 5-point move here on the stock. But on options, right, I can show you the options real quick, and even the 147s, which is kind of like at the money at the time, 190920 calls 147. We can look at that here at this time frame, which is 1015. Right, so we go to the 10-15 bar, a very, very comparable option chart. Right? It had some flow today, had some volume. Right, so you can see here a possible entry point right there is $3.96. Right, kind of keep a stop, like 10% below those right there. So you're about $4. Say an entry, say you missed it precisely. Right, so you get filled at 4. Right, well these went all the way up to $6.75, almost $7. So it was a 3-point move there. 5-point on the stock, 3 points on the option, except it trades like pennies. Right, so you can get a little bit more of a big move. And here you just trail bar by bar by bar by bar by bar by bar. You get stopped out maybe at $6. So you make a 2-point move off of this ROKU move, thanks to the and anytime you have confluence on the option chart too, what a wonderful thing, right? So you get that move up there. So not .ROKU, just ROKU. I guess sometimes that period just hides in the corner over there. So anyway, so really, really good stuff. So when you combine these together, you had a gold cross right here on the stochastic, right? And you had a gold cross right here on the stochastic, and so so do we enter right here to try to go long here? It's hard to tell just because when you add the CCI to it, right, it helps give a little bit of confluence to it, right? And so you can see here we were not in oversold conditions on the CCI, so looking for a big move to the upside, is not really as where you have this kind of confluence right here. Okay, so really, really cool stuff. So it's taking some indicators and then kind of putting it together with some price action to help maybe add a little bit of higher probability to some trades. So I hope you guys find that helpful. Before we go into chart requests, I do want to show and to compare it with a couple things. Like, okay, great, thanks, John. This worked today, but what else happened? So let's take a look at Facebook. Okay, so Facebook was very similar, right? Because you look at the price action today, right, and it also gave some inside bars below its 15 order. Like, so do I go long on those? Right, is the question. I mean, here would have been good, right? But anyway, so it's like here's an inside bar too at 11:30 on Facebook. It got oversold. It looks like it, right? Well, it didn't get oversold on the CCI, right? So, and it gave kind of some false moves here, really, really flat and all that stuff. So the CCI never crossed below until here, right? Now we didn't have an inside bar on this one, right? But we still had a really nice dip on both of these, and we had a golden cross right here. So that ended up being actually a very powerful move on Facebook into the close, right? So we can also look and see what that looks like on the 30-minute chart real quick. Okay, we just had a hammer right here. Okay, so a little bit different, right? We like the 15. It treats us well. The 5, way oversold on that. So the 15 is nice. This works really well with the 15. So we had a nice dip on both of these, and it does match the. It does match, not quite exactly, the calculations aren't exactly the same. It does look very, very similar to the fast K, right? You had this pointed move, but you can see they're actually off by a little bit and a little bit more extended, right? You don't have as sharp moves, things like that. So it is not the exact same thing, right? So you have kind of a tilted move right here, just slightly different calculations on this. So, but very, very interesting, right? Hey, it had a dip here. You had the dip here, but not a dip here. So when you combine these two together, it can really help. So Facebook only worked here. It didn't give you the price action move, right? But all it did was kind of touch through these levels. So it also had a kind of a pivot level break right here too. So this is kind of a key level in the daily. So that's basically. Let's take a look at one more, and then we'll get to questions. Okay, so the next one that we'll look at is Tesla. Tesla had a pretty good move today too, and look, it had a very, very similar setup. Not as smooth, but still really nice. Okay, so just about the same time frame as Roku, so actually either one of these would have been fine. I liked Roku's a little bit more because the fast stochastic was a little bit smoother. You can see how choppy it was here on Tesla, but look what Tesla did, right? Got to the over sold area here, right, on the fast K, right, kind of, and then you gave your golden cross right here as we had the inside bar, okay. So, and then see how it kind of dipped down. That's because of this topping tail right here. But look what happened here. So right around this time frame, right around 10:45, right, you can see that the CCI started crossing back over too. So that was a dip buying opportunity here based off of this inside bar, off of this price action, right? And you can actually see a little move here too as well, right? We were overbought here on Tesla, right, at the cloud. I probably wouldn't have traded into the cloud. But we had a drop here on both of these as well, so that kind of gave a short. So we can just take a look at both of those really quickly, and then we'll move on to chart requests. So real quick here at 10:30, right? So we have .Tesla, 190920 calls. We'll look at the 240s. They'll be a little bit expensive, but we'll look at the breakout bar here at 10:45. Okay. So 10:45 bars right here, right? So we probably would have entered somewhere in here. It did give confluence right there, give an inside bar. So probably would have entered here somewhere around $4.45, right? Never really, I mean, really, honestly, was a 20-cent stop, something like that. So you have your entry right there. You finally got some momentum here from, from basically $4.50. Ultimately, probably would have been stopped out here, but $6. So nice 2-point move on Tesla right there. Okay. And then if we just go back real quick and look at the puts, we could kind of see what kind of move we had off of that. All right, so even bar by bar probably would have been okay. It probably would have been like maybe a 20-cent move or something like that. But at 13.15, we can look at the 245s puts. Okay, so it was at 13.15. So 13.15, right? We had a little move right here. Okay. So, a little bit of a gap move here on the option chart too. So about $4, got all the way up to $4.25. So pretty boring move right there. In fact, probably would have been stopped out kind of somewhere here. Probably would have been about break even, but still, you'd have been safe trailing bar by bar on that one. So, so just showing that it works both ways, and just kind of comparing to a few different stocks as well. So yeah, so really, really neat stuff. So that is the stochastic combined with the CCI and using price action that we like to use on the 15-minute charts using our inside bars and such. So good stuff. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those into the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can, hopefully before 10:30, so we can get a good night's sleep and have an awesome trading day tomorrow as we go into Fed Day. So good stuff. Good to see everybody. I had a few emails for chart requests. I'm just going to run through those real quick. The first is for Boeing for Dr. Dimples. So let's kind of take a look at that. Let's go to the daily chart. Wow, that looks really messy. Let's go here. Okay, that's a little cleaner, right? Yesterday, anybody who follows on Twitter, you saw that I was talking about a possible bull flag. It looked bull flaggy on Boeing. We also had this kind of cup and handle type situation here. So you had a nice bull flag right here, and it broke out today on that. So really, here's your trend line right from here. It touches here. It's not quite touching there for whatever reason because likes to shift, but anyway, but that's the idea. So you still have this upward trend line too. So if anything, it might go sideways. It might even pull. Just be careful, with Fed tomorrow. But it is breaking out over all these key levels, and the next levels it has to go is this 384 level, and then you have this open gap right here at 390. And if it could get over that, wow, we got this open gap right there at 415. But it is starting to work its way up, so that's looking pretty good there. Shirley also sent a few in. She's got some pretty cool day trading ideas there. So we're just going to take a look at the daily chart for her. Oh, AEVO. Did I misspell that, Shirley? Is it AVO that you wanted? Yeah. This is it. Yeah, it was a little bit cheaper. Sorry, I mistyped that in the email there. So yeah, here's your move. There you go. Bullish until proven otherwise on that one. Let's take a look. Next, BA. We already looked at. It's cool. You had confluence with Dr. Dimples. BKLN. Sweet stuff. Here. Yeah, just be careful with this. It gave a little minor pivot here, Shirley. So if it gets below that and closes below that, it might actually reverse, get a little overbought here on the RSI too. So just be careful with that. Snap is looking really good. I don't have to look at it. I looked at it today. it's doing really well. Had an upgrade today. This has been the downward trend line on it for a while. It got out of the cloud, so basically a close over today's high could get bullish, start to feel like a little closing gap up here, and maybe get to all-time highs. So 18 is a possible target on that for sure. SPWR. Ooh, wow. Yeah, this is really nice too. Yeah, so big move on that one. Let's take a look at that and see how we got here. So here's your move, here's your low, there's your pivot. Yeah, so we closed above this minor pivot today. I mean, this could get some follow through too. I like how it had increased volume. So definitely has a shot up there to those highs. STNE. Yeah, this has been really nice here. I mean, it had a big move up. This is kind of a first pivot right here, minor pivot here, closed above this today, so that's starting to get pretty strong. So we'll see if we can get up to the those highs as well. Very very interesting on that. Big moves on this guy. TMUS, tricky, right? Here's your high, low, right? There's your level. Okay, so big mess right here. This is probably a good entry day right here, more than likely, or this one. So we'll see if it continues to work its way up. It does have a kind of a bullish kind of tinge to it, but it does get a little kind of choppy and nasty. So just be careful with that one. BLL. I don't think we've looked at this one for months. Yeah, we had an old pitchfork on this one. It does seem to be holding pitchfork levels. It did break down here, guys. Look, here's your minor pivot, guys. This perfect shorting opportunity right here. Just for everybody who's in our group, right? So this is what we have. We have this upward trend line right here, right? Breakdown here, close below there. Perfect day to enter here on 9/6 for a down move. So just FYI. If we did the 920s on that, possible target is the cloud, right? So you go .bll 190920 puts, and then the cloud was what? Just say 72, right? So on 9/6 on those entries, what happened? Oh, what does it do? 70s. Anyway, big move, right? So anyway, those are the trades we like to get. Anyway, so nice there. Yeah, so in terms of where it is now, there's your move. There's this. There's your minor pivot. Close above here. It's starting to look pretty bullish here, surely. In fact, I actually really like that. Today would have been a good entry off of the cloud. We'll take a look at that too. Let me add this to our list. I got so many good stuff setting up here. BLL. Good. Nice one, Shirley. I'm going to add that to the watch list too. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Good. Nice one, Shirley. All right, what else? HOLX. Yeah, this came up today too a couple times. Oh yeah, I wouldn't mess with this thing at all. I'm sorry, Shirley. This thing's just a choppy, sloppy mess. There's nothing good about this. I mean, it could work, right? I mean, it could break out. I just wouldn't touch this thing until it gave, some sort of definitive something. It is getting out of the cloud. I do like that. Of course, it tried here, and here to do the exact same thing. So just be careful. I wouldn't even mess with this one. But anyway, Dustin, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Uzi, hope you had a green day. Good job. Harvey, hello. Apple and yeah, thanks for bringing up Costco. Cool. I don't know why that's one of those ones that just likes to slip off the radar and then it goes, right? So yeah, so Apple is wow, does this make sense here, all this stuff? Okay, we use it. Don't worry, we use it. All right, so here we go. So Apple's looking pretty good here. You had this. That's kind of like a short bump and run type thing, but it's holding this bump trend line right here. So nice push out of this inside day today, right? So we'll see if we can get into this gap a little bit more. Let's maybe Powell will say some good stuff tomorrow. That'd be great. And then cost, just like Roku needs to push, and hit kind of like a little lower low here for this trend line to even do anything, right? Like I said, if it could do that and then give us a little breakout and all this stuff, we make it an earnings run on this thing. Otherwise, we just got to wait till earnings and see what it's got in store for us. Now, Shop on the other hand, I'm just going to jump to that real quick. Shop did put in a low for us, and so this trend line is great for us right now, right? So if we could get over that and give us a minor pivot here, right, and a little close above it at the cloud, oh, that'd be so great with Shop. That'd be wonderful. So we'd love that. Anyway, good stuff. Enjoy Life Apparel. Hello. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Dustin? Let's see. So you've got the VIX. Let's take a look at the VIX. Just trying. A bunch of red days, right? Gapping up and going closing red. So if it closes green tomorrow, we got a minor pivot. If it closes green tomorrow over this level here, over 1529 after Powell, um, look out below. I'm going to put an alert on this. Very, very nice. Appreciate you mentioning that one. That's a good one to definitely look at just off the daily charts. SLV, great stock to be in, right? We swung this one up here. Great one to be in here for some potential. I like the close today. In fact, possibly swingable today. As volatility goes up, this is a great place to be. So nice one on that. Oxy. Oh man, look at that. Evening star reversal, right? Basically, right? So in fact, it would have been nice if this were green right here and this were red, but kind of a big reversal right there. So just be careful with that. Might get some follow through. Marubozu day today. FTCH. Farfetch. Keep an eye on this one. I'm going to extend this here. Just extend this right. There's that old channel, right? Just kind of draw that down a little bit. So it's kind of respecting these levels a little bit. I do have challenges with these ones that kind of really move like this, right? That have these big gap downs. It's really hard because it could really run into a lot of resistance once it gets to the gap. But it is setting up nicely. I mean, yesterday was actually possibly a good swing day as it got back into that channel. PCG. Very, very similar, right, on the gaps, right? So there's your low, so it's got kind of a major trend line down. Overall, it's trending down. You have these levels here, has minor pivot. This is a possible entry point, but it's just choppy. Like any of these big gap down, right? These power gaps down are really, really tough to get out of unless it gets out of the macro trend line. So just something to keep in mind there. But if you're short on it, yeah, it could be good. Enjoy Life Apparel. What's happening? All right, so let's say RH, guys. RH, very, very nice. Enjoy life. Guess what? Double inside day, right? So something to keep an eye on for tomorrow. Here's where it is. I mean, here's your trend line right here, right? So from here through these levels, right? Kind of just tagging all these low levels. So tomorrow is going to be a very, very key day for RH, right? It's going to give us it's going to tell us whether it's going to put a minor pivot below this trend line, and then we'll see if we close below that for a potential short on this. Otherwise, double inside day, who knows? It could push its way back up to highs. Right now, it's still holding trend. So something to just remember there. Paul, what's cooking? New highs? You think so? Nice. It would meet our the bullish count that we've been talking about. So thank you for giving everybody I've talked to. Everybody I've talked to has been like bearish into tomorrow and all that stuff. So as it adds up, it's like maybe bullish. The wave count supports it. So I like that. Netfry, what's going on? Netfry for Netflix. Netflix closed perfect today. It really did, except the volume. That was the only thing that kept me out of swinging this thing. And the calls were a little bit expensive. But I wanted to get some calls, possibly for a push up to the cloud. I love this, how it kind of closed over this pivot level here. I just feel like the pivot is still forming. I feel like, I don't know, with this volume kind of dropping each day here, I feel like it's going to do this. Kind of this. It's going to give us kind of this type of price stuff, and then eventually we'll get like a close maybe over here above it, and then it'll hit target at 305. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to mess with it today. That was basically it. So we'll see. I just didn't trust today's move on it. That's all. Just like a feeling I had, right? But anyway, it looks like it's trying to get out of this downtrend though. So that's all I've got on Netflix really. Daniel, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Netflix. Nice. Good. MG, what's happening? MG for MGM. I love it. All right, let's take a look. So MGM. Yeah, so some money been flowing into casinos. At least some of the options. I think LVS had like some call, really, really active call stuff. High yesterday here. There's your level. It also gave you a minor pivot, but it's holding trend. So looking good as it's coming out of the cloud. Very, very nice there. Never nice. Session, yeah, Intel, nice one. Let's take a look. Session, I thought you asked something earlier. I don't know. Maybe I was jumping around. Anyway, yeah. So Intel. Sorry if the volume's changing there. Intel, let's pull this up. So really, really close here on Intel. It just keeps on forming this minor pivot. It's not just giving me a bearish bar to say, hey, let's go short on it. But it looks like it's setting up for a potential short if it could close below it. So this is on the radar. And so is Cisco, by the way. Cisco is looking really nice. I think I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Can't remember if you guys saw me pull this up. Anyway, look at that kind of drip below there. If we close below that tomorrow after the Fed, woo, look out below. Anyway, so GLW, little Corning action. Wow, well, that gapped down today, huh? What was the news on that one? Got a nasty downgrade. Anyway, interesting. Wow, I didn't. This didn't even pop up on my list today on my radar. So, but there's your trend line. Obviously, gap below it. So this is your minor pivot right here. If we close below that today, could be good. But a huge volume came in green day today. So watch the 30 orb on this one tomorrow. It could be very, very interesting. It might give you a reverse, a good move up for at least a day. Zen, tough. I mean, here's the issue with Zen. Here's your down move. Here's your minor pivot. We're still way below that. So I mean, we could try again here. We do have a little minor pivot here, so we could try, but I'm not seeing a big risk to reward on this one. That's all on that. Bud, what's up, bud? Buddy. The cool thing about this is being an ADR and all that stuff is it just gaps around so much, right? So that makes it really tough. But we are over these levels. We got to close above this high right here. We might see a little pop in it. AMT, American Tire. Let's see. So here's this. Lows there. Yeah. Wow. Very, very nice. Careful with dividends coming up here, but I really like this close today. That could be ready to run. I like that. AMT. I'm adding that to the watch list. Nice one. Very wow, great charts tonight. Enjoy the apparel. Last Fed day, we get an increase in tariff tweet. Could see NATH if we don't get that this time. I know, right? Yeah, exactly. That would be good. Mike, EMPH. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Look at this. We look at this for a while. Look at that channel that was up for a very long time. And then it gapped above it, right? And now, I don't know if it's coming back to life or what the case is here. There's your level. So it just tagged this trend line here, right, into the cloud. So keep an eye on it over the next couple days. See if it can kind of get above it, give you a minor pivot, and then maybe try to work its way out of the cloud. It has got a lot of volume. Does this thing even trade options? I guess it does. Yeah, it's got some open interest on it too. So I like these 5 centers right there. Definitely worth keeping an eye on here. We'll keep an eye on it. Good. MG stochastic is probably my favorite indicator. Absolutely, yeah. And slow on stock charts. Sure, yeah. I just found it really cool on the 15 chart. Really kind of worked, especially combined with the CCI. Session. What should determine time frame when using this method? The 15-minute chart. Just because we love it with our 15 orbs and those inside 15s, especially if you get a double inside 15. It's really, really great. So I haven't back tested it with anything else, like with any of the other charts, but there's so much other stuff. I mean, the daily chart, we don't really need it, right, with our trend lines. And just intraday, just for day trading, I would kind of do that. With the 60, you don't really want to mess with it either, right? I mean, we can kind of take a look at it real quick, just, let's just pull up something like Tesla. If we go to the 60s. Here, I mean, you don't see as much movement, right? It's just kind of blah, right? You see all this kind of craziness here, but intraday, for finding those kind of intraday trades, right? Sorry, this isn't Tesla. What is TCG? I don't even know what that is. But you can kind of see it's like you get all these crossovers and all that stuff. I don't really like dealing with all this stuff. But on the 15 chart for intraday type stuff, good to go, right? You can get some really nice clean moves on it, right? When you zoom in, really, really pretty stuff right here. So for catching those type of moves, and just look for the oversold and overbought conditions, right? So here, I mean, stochastic wasn't overbought. I mean, it was nice. You had this death cross right here, so you did see that on the CCI. It is something to consider, to look at. Sharp move here on Tesla. I remember these days here. A couple days ago. But yeah, I think the 15 is really effective. And then using our price action, especially if you can see like a double inside 15, like take a look at Boeing today. Boeing gave a triple inside 15 today. Right now, this doesn't relate to these, this indicator, right? But BTC was moving up and all that stuff. But this is kind of just looking for those kind of reversal type trades that we do like to catch sometimes, right? These were both kind of everything was in an uptrend here off of these off the double inside 15. So you could see that got that move, and then you had this triple inside 15, then the big breakout today. So a nice move on that. But yeah, definitely for those reversals, I think it's a cool tool to have. I'm gonna have it up. I'm gonna have it up intraday too. So yeah, Heather, good evening. Paul, what's going on? How does it work with the 10-minute chart? We'll pull it up. Let's take a look and see. I'm sure it's probably pretty similar. Right? I mean, we're only off by 5 minutes on that. Let's pull it up right here. Let's take a look at Roku. Yeah, I mean, you can see a nice dip right here on both. Right, nice gold cross. Right, this is of course the other day. Right, we could see it kind of start to cross over in the morning here. We had an inside 15 here on Boeing. Right, and so that was a nice move on that. Let's take a look at. Let's look at Roku today. See how that kind of came through. Yeah, nice inside 10 right here. Very, very nice. Nice dip right here. So yeah, very, very powerful. It could work great on the 10 for sure. Little doji up on that. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Right, nice cross right here. Cross right here. A little move here on Roku as well to the downside. So very, very nice. Good. Nice on the 10. Good. What else? Paul, WWE. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see what you're seeing here. Yeah. Right. Very, very nice. High move here. I mean, trend is up until proven otherwise, right? Possible bump. Right. Possible bump and run type working. So yeah, bullish. Good. Rahul, what's going on? Etsy. Yeah, Etsy's just been so phenomenal, guys. I don't know if Experience and Thoughts is here, but like he mentioned this one a couple times. What a great move, guys! This totally missed it, off the radar. But here's your minor pivot off of our trend line. Here's the close. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't want to talk about it, but Ruffle, if you're looking maybe the cloud, right? Maybe get some consolidation up in there. I wouldn't get greedy with it, but yeah, CVNA. I wouldn't touch this thing, man. With this choppy blah. Too much, man. Just not, didn't even get a low there. I just wouldn't deal with it. It seems like it got a big move on earnings, right? I think we played this or we looked at it, like with our 15 orbs. Here's our levels right here. So you got a nice break out of those highs, out of that gap and go level right there the next day. And I think it kind of was out of play after that. I mean, really, really tricky type stuff on the daily. Maybe intraday, you can play with it a little bit more, but yeah, Yeti. What's going on with this? How's that all the way down there? What did I here? Draw that trend line. Like, there's your low. There's this minor pivot. This is a close. So nice move off of that. But then you're into heavy cloud resistance right there. So you just got to be careful with that. In general, it's kind of the new trend is up, right? But it's kind of retesting some levels, stuff like that. So it is kind of holding this trend. So to see if it kind of maybe a couple days it kind of works its way up, might even down dip a little. I wouldn't mess with it too much. Didn't get enough power to get through the cloud, so just be careful if it gets choppy. And it's kind of working on this kind of. The cloud itself is showing like an ascending triangle, and ascending triangles have a 38% chance of breaking out. So I'd just be careful with that, just probability wise. Thomas, what's happening? AbbVie and Ulta, sure. AbbVie. Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, so AbbVie, nice pivot right here. Closed about yesterday, nice move up. It's breaking out of the cloud. I like it. It has some more potential. Ulta. Yeah, today was the day for an attempt. Again, these big gap downs that go for reversals, I don't like trading these. Why? Because I've been super duper burned on them before. So it's like, oh yeah, it'll fill this gap any day now. And then like after all the options have expired and you've rolled it over twice, you're like, oh yeah, it's not filling, and then it has bad earnings again. Oh man, that type of thing. So I just be careful here. It's not really, it's kind of out of play with this. If anything, with this kind of big gap down, you want to look for setups to short, just because of blah. Keep an eye on it. I mean, it looks okay here. I mean, you might get a little pop up to that, 239 level or something like that. Look, intraday might be interesting to find something. So, Dustin and TLT. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. We have old fib fan line from way back in October, November of last year. Look how much it's carried out. Look at that. Oh, look how it's like gone up to the top of the fib fan line. I think I love this stuff, man. It's fantastic. Here to here, right? Minor pivot right there. So tomorrow, if it closes above it, keep an eye on TLT for a move. I'll put an alert on that too, so that could be interesting. Nice stuff, Dustin. Muko of America, what's happened at NOC? Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean it's already kind of rocking, right? So it's doing its thing. Keep on keeping on. Could go for highs for sure. JK CBS. Yeah, starting to get weak here. You're saying looking weak? Yeah, absolutely. And JK looking weak on just the trend lines, right? So minor pivot today, a close below that tomorrow could be bearish. I like that so much. I'm going to add that to a couple things to the game plan and add it to our swing watch list too. Here. Thank you very much. Thank you. PDD. Let's take a look. Yeah, just be careful with PDD here. Wow, we looked at that a while ago. It had that bump and run, and it didn't stop, did it? I mean, however we want to look at this, and we can kind of go here, but again, it's very similar. Yesterday was the minor pivot day. It could not break down below it, so just kind of watch. If we have a red day tomorrow and it closes like that, then maybe look for a potential short and could kind of retest that 31 level, right? So just something to look at. But yeah, nice stuff. Sumit, how's it going? Adobe. Above 300. Great question. Sorry, my broadcaster sometimes does this thing. All right, cool. Let's take a look, see how it is after hours here. Oh goodness, that's gonna take a while. It's down to 276 right now, so it's got a while to get there. It did run heavy into a big daily cloud here, so I don't know. We're gonna gap down tomorrow. Let's see. It's at 274. It's not that bad. It's just kind of gapping down to the other day, so might find some support here. Could be a good reversal trade tomorrow. So there you go. Yeah, it could on a strong reversal, it could eventually get up there. Wendy, good morning. What's the expected impact of the Fed on financial stocks? Just like everything else, I think it's all going to go crazy tomorrow. The financial stocks have done really, really well, right, over the last couple of weeks. So I would just, at this point, today was probably a good day to kind of trim some profits on it, right? Goldman, had a minor pivot today or yesterday, and then today it gapped below it and then flushed a little bit today. It was a really, really scary kind of move on Goldman today. So that's kind of the shot across the bow right there. It's got a closing gap right down here. If the Fed news, if they sell the news tomorrow, I mean the financials could get hit pretty bad. JP Morgan had a very similar type price action today too. A lot of them ended up with hammers. Today it gave you the minor pivot down. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on too. But yeah, so the expected impact is just insanity. So MTN, what's going on? SPY, just because. Yeah, let's take a look. So SPY. Nice. Yep, very similar to SPX, right? So here's your minor pivot here. If we close below this tomorrow, or if we close below 299.45 tomorrow with a red candle tomorrow, something like that, then definitely take a look at possibly some puts on SPY. What are the next week's 292s looking like? I just want to kind of see. Give it a second here. Yeah, they're not cheap. 75 cents-ish or something like that. But yeah, it could be interesting. Nice. Paul, what's going on? DBX? They had a noticeable 9.27. Ooh, some call. Let's take a look at DBX here. Yeah, and the reason is, right, well, obviously it's already been working itself up very nicely here. So I mean the reason is, even here it's tradable. Today is actually pretty good, but you're running into some cloud here, so I wouldn't really mess with it too much, right? So they had this here kind of going on, Right, once we finally got a bullish close over this pivot here, that was the go time. Now you're kind of running some resistance, but the idea is the big rumor behind Dropbox is somebody's going to buy this thing, right? Like Microsoft or something like that. So I think that those call options that you're looking at are people kind of loading up for that potential news. So just be careful with that. But technically, it looks good, right? You might get a pop, but again, where 2150? Just be careful of this cloud. That's all I gotta say on that one. But yeah, Rahul. Yeah, no problem. Docu and CPRT. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's getting there. We got a few. Okay, I'm gonna just do that there. Okay, so we got a few here. I mean, it's had a big move up. Hasn't quite been able to give any sort of bearish bar below these minor pairs. So now it's basically if you see a bearish bar below 60, it might be worth shorting, right? And unless you can put in a new high somewhere. So just be careful with that. And CPRT, Copart, high there. Yeah, it's holding trend. Looks good. Yeah, neat little. I don't think I've ever traded this one before, but it looks neat. Seems to be holding trend there. Dustin, tweet error. Let's take a look. Ooh, tough. I mean, kind of long-term trend here has been still breaking down below there. It's below its upward trend line, but it hasn't quite confirmed below its minor pivot, right? Kind of a lot going on there. Here's what's going on. If it closes above today's high tomorrow, it goes bullish. If it closes below yesterday's low tomorrow, it's bearish, right? So it's kind of in that kind of situation right now. Harvey, the Fed, 2 p.m. is the Fed announcement where they talk about the rate changes, and then 2:30 is the real big number. That's where Mr. Powell does his press conference. And last time at the press conference, things got wild. So we might see something at 2 p.m. like it'll be like, we're gonna lower rates. Right, and then we see us maybe spike up, and then he goes to his press conference. He's like, "Well, we're not really, based on the conditions, we're going to look at data," and then we flush down, right? So that's a possibility tomorrow. Paul, I keep hearing you say pivot here, pivot there. Just curious how you determine the pivots. I have pivot points on TOS, with just the main ones. Yeah, I know you can throw pivots around. When I talk about pivots here, I talk about literal pivot points on the chart. So where it pivots, right? Where it's like, when you're playing basketball and you pivot on one foot, right? So it comes down here and it pivots up, and it goes up here and it pivots down, and it goes here and it pivots up. So I'm literally talking about the movements, the major changes on the chart, right? That where the waves change, right? If you're an Elliott waver, right? So this is like, that the top of a wave, bottom wave. So those are your pivots right there. So intraday, like we look at floor pivot levels, things like that. You can use your pivot points, stuff like that. But I'm talking about the actual, pivot moves, right? On the chart. So that's what I'm talking about there. Yeah, all good. And one last one for me, MO. Oh yeah, my pleasure. So, and we do this every night, so make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So every market night. So yeah, so MO obviously been getting destroyed by the vaping thing, right? It's gonna be hard for this thing to really it could recover eventually, and it'll be interesting to watch. Yeah, right now it's still bearish until proven otherwise, right? Good stuff. LOL Fed, yes. My Powell voice. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Definitely my pleasure. MTN, nice work. Thank you so much. Paul, got you. Thank you. And makes more sense now. Good. Yeah, that's what I meant. So when I talked there intraday. So good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Anybody new here, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube, and then check out our links in the Twitter feed. And I appreciate everybody. And have a great night. Get a good night's sleep. And tomorrow will be another fun day in the markets. And looking forward to some Fed action. Hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on that. And have a great day tomorrow. So and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. I'll talk to you guys soon.